Welcome to Pangea NOW. I'm Janine Feudy.
And I'm Crystal Calvano.
This is our second episode of the season, and it's a little bit different. Crystal has joined me now, of course. And we are going to be doing some trending topics for you each week at this time. Hard news, you're going to get health segments, fashion segments, a little bit of everything. We're like the afternoon Today Show, but not so early because we're not morning. Well, you're a morning. I'm not a morning person.
I am a morning person.
Well, we're going to start it off today with some trends.
Yep.
Now, why else have children unless you're going to embarrass them? At least that's what my parents always said. That was their job. They're here to embarrass me, and they did a good job of it. Way to go, Mom and Dad. But
I've had some embarrassing moments, too.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to have kids so I can embarrass them. I'm going to live it up. Bunny slippers, hugs, and all. But some parents are taking it to the next level thanks to technology. A couple of parents have been viral. One parent actually put bullet holes, I don't know if you saw this, in his daughter's laptop because she said she hated her life. A little extreme.
I was going to say, it's a little extreme. I hope he got his point across and her lesson was learned.
Yep. I mean, I remember, I'm sure every teenager said that at one point, that my life stinks or I hate you. But thank God my dad didn't own a gun.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was another woman that jumped on board with this. Her name is Jennifer Crutchfield, and she's from Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming. And her daughter, who was 14, kept cutting class. She was at her wit's end. She couldn't get her to go to class, and she didn't know what else to do. So she literally followed her around class all day with a camera and videotaped her, and it worked. And not only did she videotape her, she embarrassed her. She was asking her questions like, why am I here, Jen? Why am I here? What did you do? Maybe I'll sit next to you. And the daughter is mortified, covering her face, running away from her mother. She went to class, though, and she decided to post this on Facebook, I guess to show other parents what to do. I'm not too sure, but she got 100,000 views. Pretty good. It went to YouTube, went viral, but YouTube unfortunately had to take it down. They took it down because they have a privacy act that states that they can't let any of the users put up content that might bully or threaten another person, and I guess they consider this bullying.
I mean, I think if the mother did it constantly, like on a weekly, daily, even a monthly basis, it can count as bullying, but perhaps YouTube is seeing it as this is, she's modifying this child. Other kids may look at it and make fun of her. So maybe not on the mom's end, but from a standpoint of another child or another high schooler.
That's a good point. I mean, I never really thought about her other friends watching it and teasing her, but it gave her thicker skin. She probably, like I said, will never cut class again. I mean, I don't know, a couple years ago, maybe even last year, there was a man on Facebook that, he was on BuzzFeed as well. He was known for standing on his kid's bus stop every day in weird costumes and waving goodbye to punish his son. And like something like that, I think that's comical. I mean, a kid's got to...
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you got to grow thick skin and understand that these are your parents. They're going to be there. When you're older, you'll look back and laugh. Yeah.
Extreme parenting with some humor added. You'll understand when you're older.
Yep, it could be much worse.
Yes.
But another teen this week that is my personal hero, I know yours too, David Rodriguez, 16-year-old David Rodriguez, decided that he wanted to start a campaign to get him and his cat in his yearbook. He wanted the picture to be with lasers, and the school unfortunately said no, they wouldn't put it as his main high school picture, but they would put it in the yearbook. Well, principal got wind of it, and we have a picture of it, and she decided that she wanted to help out, and they decided to raise the money. Let's take a look at the picture. This is the final outcome. I love it.
It's too good. I love the background with the cat and the dog looking up.
They're so serious. The cat's like deep thought. But his life.
I love it. Smart kid.
Other than the fact that it raised money, they raised money for the American Society to prevent animal cruelty. Yeah. So it actually wound up having a good cause. There's something funny it started out as, and he was on the Today Show with this.
Well, that's such a great way to, get your voice out there and to raise money. Is take something funny that's popular. I mean, the cats and the vintage laser backgrounds, you see it all over the place, especially over social media.
Oh, yes.
So I think this was a great way for him to raise money and raise awareness.
Yeah. It reminds me of Awkward Family Photos. I don't know if they're the books in Urban Outfitters, and they have them.
So good. There's a game.
There's a game?
There's a board game called Awkward Family Photos. I don't know how it's played, but we should check it out one time.
Yes. I mean, this is obviously not as awkward as some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few risky ones, but... good for David for standing up for something. May it be weird and unusual. It's something you believed in and you raised money, so good for you.
Also, with the awkward photos, if you guys have any of your school photos with the lasers in the background or any funny photos, tomorrow is Thursday, Throwback Thursday, tweet us.
Yep. At Globesville.
Yep, at Globesville.
At Globesville, you can send them over. We'll show them next week, some of the best ones. I know I have some. I'm thinking I'll have to maybe look for mine. No teeth and all. Yeah, those laser pictures are big. They were big in the 90s. As you can see, we made it our background today because we loved it so much. But moving on. Another thing, I don't know, the iPhone 6 has been, that's all we've been hearing about. iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, the bending of the iPhone 6, the fact that, you know, and do you see all those videos of the people bending them?
Yeah, I don't have an iPhone 6, but I Googled it just so I could say it. And I don't think I want one.
No.
I mean, we wear tight pants. We're girls. I'm constantly putting my phone in my pocket if I don't have my purse on me. Why do I want to spend the money to watch something break?
Yeah, you would think, they say it's because of the weight of sitting on it.
Yes.
But I've been sitting on my other iPhone for 2.5 years. I've had it now and never had an issue. So why can't they figure out something now?
Yeah.
But apparently there's another problem with it now. It's pulling out hair, literally. There's something between the screen and the crack that women are getting, facial hair is even getting caught, and women's hair is getting caught. So I don't know if anybody has an iPhone 6 out there, be careful, maybe shave a little bit before you use it. But yeah, so they're getting heat about that. I mean, other than that, you have the lovely U2 album they're getting heated about as well, so.
Oh man, iPhone 6, gotta love them, gotta love Apple.
It's yeah. But other than, another topic that I actually loved and made me think about actually moving out of the country, it's a little older article, but it's been getting a little heat lately. Netflix. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
The tag. I think it's called the tagged. They call it a tagged.
Yeah.
It's a new job they're offering for people like us in the film and TV industry. They're looking for people to watch a whole series of movies, which I do anyway, and write descriptions of them.
Best job ever.
I know. Seriously, I think right now it's only offered in Europe, and I'm seriously thinking about it, Netflix. I'm pretty good with words. Well, not right now, but I'm pretty good with writing, and I love to watch TV. So.
And these shows, especially the Netflix originals. I don't know if you watch like Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, I love Orange Is the New Black. Yeah.
Those series, they're just gaining more and more popularity, and I know when I start watching a series, I love getting home and just being like, all right, finished all my homework. Now let's watch 5 episodes of this show. It's
seriously like a sickness. I'm like, I gotta get up the next episode. I gotta know what happens, and then you're sucked in for 4 hours. Think about getting paid for that. So if anybody's looking for an excuse to get out of this country or a job that pays well, that's something they enjoy to do, and you want to be lazy, here's a free excuse.
Check it out. TV.
Yep. They just Google it. They have a video and everything looking for people. So I think it's pretty competitive, though.
I'm sure. I mean, it's the coolest job ever. Yeah. It probably is actually not probably, it is very competitive.
Yeah.
I wonder what credentials you have to have for that.
I know. You just have to have great.
I know every character's name, where they're from. You probably have to be a super fan among super fans.
Oh, yeah. You have to, but you have to also be critical enough to really describe a show if you don't like it as well.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and go, I hated this, blah, blah, blah. You have to describe a show for what it's worth and pick it apart. So I think that's why they're looking for people in this industry, because they know technically what to look for. Yeah. They can put it in what genre it's in, and they can give it an honest critique. Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe I'll be moving soon.
Oh, don't know.
Especially since, you know, now that robots are taking our jobs.
Robots are taking our jobs.
Robots are taking our jobs.
A little eerie.
Yeah.
It's scary to think of.
I know. I've had a couple teachers, some on campus, not going to name names, that always say that our jobs will be taken by robots one day. And, well, this article that I just read might prove him right. Apparently Vincent, the cutest little employee I've ever seen in Westport, is the newest librarian. He works 24 hours around the clock. Wow. He works on an iCloud system, which no one understands the cloud. So
I still don't understand the cloud. It goes right over my head.
Don't know. Idea. But we have actually a little bit of a video explaining him.
He's so cute.
Let's go to that video. Go to the video.
They may look cute and they may look like toys, but they're actually pretty sophisticated tools.
Maybe, but the tools in your tool chest also don't have eyes, ears, and don't respond to your questions.
What day is it?
Today is Wednesday.
Vincent and Nancy are the latest generation of sophisticated robots, the first of their kind,
so
working alongside library specialists at the Westport Library.
I want to come with you.
Somebody.
Think you're looking for old books and not cutting-edge technology? Thinking again, or let Vincent do your thinking for you.
Do you want me to suggest something to talk about?
Way back in the 80s, public libraries were the first place that many people touched a personal computer.
In fact, 3 years ago, the Westport Library was one of the first to introduce 3D printers and lessons to their patrons. The robot's cloud-based storage rate updates constantly, learning all the time. In fact, they can respond to 19 different languages.
They listen to vocal prompts, so you can have conversations with them. They answer basic questions.
I can do lots of things because the engineers who programmed me are very smart.
And entertain, like play robot soccer, or do a little Tai Chi.
I am really proud of Mr. Alice.
Can you tell me the weather forecast?
I don't know how to teach the weather forecast yet, but I will talk to my developers.
My job is secure for now. Fun aside, why does a library need a robot? Well, the same reason the books are there, to help expand your mind.
The main functionality of Nancy and Vincent will be on the back end, where patrons will take classes and workshops, and we'll teach them how to code the robot and program them to do things like Tai Chi and walk around and tell stories.
We believe that robotics is the next technology that people will need to know about.
Vincent and Nancy will get their formal introduction to library patrons next week. They've got plans to have the two robots read to kids very soon. Hey, you want to take the rest of the story?
Sure. He's Matt Scott, Fox Connecticut News.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today at 4. The Fox Connecticut News at 5.
So now that we have a little bit of background of robots in the working world, let's go to Crystal Calvano, our news anchor, to hear how technology and education go hand in hand.
Thank you, Janine. There you have it. It seems everywhere we look today, technology is increasing, from whether it be a new smartphone device, a new app, or even a robot. Technology is being shaped and formed every second in today's society and culture. But where does this leave you, a student? Multitasking. According to an article on NPR, multitasking is increasing as technology increases. Well, how does that affect students? The article showed a study where multitaskers did worse on cognitive exams compared to those who had single-handed tasks. Well, where does this leave us? In the last several years, chalkboards, erasers have been replaced with whiteboards, smartboards, and other forms of technologies. Kids at young ages are dealing with technology on a daily basis, be it in the classroom or at home. Janine Feudy looked into the elementary and middle school view to see how education and technology are starting to go hand in hand.
What grade are you in?
6.
You're in the 6th grade. Now, in school, what kind of technology does your teacher use to write on the board?
A projector.
Projector? Now can you explain it to me a little bit?
It's a light on the ceiling, and you use a computer to project it onto the screen, and then you could write on it with expo markers and other kind of markers for the expo board.
Can you see, does she use chalk ever?
No.
Have you ever seen a teacher use chalk?
No.
No?
I've been teaching 3rd grade for 15 years, and when I first started, we didn't have smart boards. 3 years ago, they installed smart boards in every classroom in my district. It's a great tool for the students. They love it. It's very interactive. The more years that I've taught, I've noticed the big difference in the children and how much they know about technology. This holds their attention. It does become an interactive teaching tool. At times it can be too much for them, too much screen time for them, because they do go home then and continue to watch TV or play video games. And sometimes I feel that they're losing their interest in opening up a book and actually reading. But it does engage them in a lesson. It keeps their attention. I don't use it every day for all lessons, the interactive part, but I do use it every day as my chalkboard. There's different features of it. This one happens to be an interactive piece where if they're learning the content, they can touch and move the pieces to rearrange so that the continents are in the right spots. It has games that go with it, so they can now label continents.
kids pay more attention now that they have technology and they're used to it than they would if, say, you were just doing math problems in a textbook or on the board?
We still do math problems from our textbook or in a workbook and on the board. We do also use a lot of mini whiteboards. I think to start off a lesson, it engages them in the lesson. I still think that throughout the day, children that are paying attention and want to learn are always, no matter what you put in front of them, willing to learn. And children that have a more difficult time holding attention, it doesn't really matter what you put in front of them. That struggle is always going to be something that's there with them. We do play a game like the one I showed you. They all want to come up. They all want to interact with the smartboard. They want to have a turn at moving the pieces or labeling or writing. Years ago, especially with math, I loved my blackboard because I can put 5 or 6 problems up on my board, and I can have 5 or 6 children coming up doing different problems at a different time while the rest of the class would choose one and see if the children that were up on the board doing the work were correct. It's a little harder to do that now because we can only write one at a time on the board. This is a regular, it does act as a regular blackboard too. You can still write on it just as you would the chalkboard, and the children can, but only one at a time, linked right to the web too. So our textbooks, my math textbook, has a fantastic website that I can pull up during the math lesson. It opens up right on here, and kids have the textbook in front of them as well, so they're seeing it in 2 places, so it reinforces, and I can tell very quickly. They know where I am, and they know where they should be in their book. I do think it is necessary. It's just the way of the world. It's the way things are changing everywhere. Even just in the work life, in my own situation here at work, everything is through email. Everything is, a document sent to you like through email. There's hardly any paper memos that we get anymore. So yeah, I think that's something that these children, especially as they grow up, it's just the way it's going to be for them. And there has to be a balance, of course, with also learning the old-fashioned way.
With smartboards and computers in many classrooms, teachers of elementary, middle school, and high school levels are creating websites for themselves. In fact, report cards are now online, and you can even check out the school lunch menu online. In an infographic done by Everyday Family, the average age of cell phone users and technology users are 5 to 8, with 77% of families being okay with their kids using iPads because they believe it increases creativity and intelligence. For Globesville, I'm Janine Feudy. Back to you, Crystal.
You've just seen technology use in the classroom for elementary. Now let's take a look at college. Renee Royce went around our campus here at NYIT Westbury to find out what faculty members had to say about technology and the classroom.
Renee Royce here from Globesville. Today I'm talking to Jill McDonald and Kevin LaGranger about their opinions on students using technology in the classroom.
Unfortunately, quite often I find that the students are pulling their cell phones out during class, and they're not using it for what we're doing in class. They're texting, they're tweeting, they're posting on Instagram, things of that nature, which I'm all for that stuff, even though I don't know how to do any of that, but there is a time and a place for it. And I feel as if the students are going to be using their technology for socializing, that needs to be done outside the classroom.
When students take out their smartphones in my class, depends on the class. If I'm teaching a class, for instance, on Shakespeare, and I'm asking the students to maybe look for something or talk about something regarding Shakespeare, if they take out their smartphone, they can answer some questions quickly and contribute to discussion in different ways. If, on the other hand, I just want to tell them about something, and I'm in a class where there's a lot of technology, it bothers me if they take it out sometimes because I don't know if they're listening to me or they're just surfing the web. So basically it's a matter of focus. If I want them to use their smartphones, I ask them. If I don't want them to, it's usually when I want them to be looking at my eyes.
This is Renee from Globesville. Now back to Crystal.
We now know the educator perspective, but what about students? George Manassian's on the scene. These answers may or may not surprise you.
Here with NYIT Comm arts student, David Tassi. And the first question I want to ask you is, how do you feel when a professor asks you to turn off your device in class?
Well, I mean, I get that they don't want us to, use our phones just to do everything that we want, but I don't use them as much, but I have to have it on just in case something happens, like, someone calls me, something important, family member, or whatever, I just need to have it on. I'm not going to use it just for, browsing stuff. I'm just going to have it on, it's going to be mostly in my pocket, or just, on the table, but I don't do anything with it.
If you're using technology in class, what is it you're usually doing on your computer?
Mostly only on email and Facebook. That's about it.
And if you do have a device out, what are you actually looking at on that device in class?
Well, usually in class, I have my tablet that I wear, which is what I use most of the time. I use that to take notes, really. And maybe when I'm done, to put that part of the notes, because, when you do notes, it's like parts and parts and parts, and you have to, of course, the teacher's talking about it during that one part. I'm usually listening, or actually I look up something on the internet, and then whenever there's something new that pops up, I just go back to my notes and I start typing down what I have to do.
Finding out that students do use their technology in the classrooms for everything other than learning, I do agree that instructors do have the authority to tell students to put away their devices, but in the end, it's the students that are paying the tuition for the classes in the first place. This is George for Globesville.
Well, it sure is evident that we're not going to escape the growth of technology, just like we're not going to escape the popularity of sports. Here's Liam Waddy with the news in sports this week. Liam?
I'm Liam Waddy and welcome back to Pangea NOW Sports News. Chelsea Football Club are in the midst of a controversy surrounding goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois and the head injury which he sustained this weekend against Arsenal. The Blues number 1 collided with Alexis Sanchez but remained on the pitch for 14 minutes before being substituted for Peter Cech. Chelsea have come under some criticism from Headway, a brain injury charity, following the lack of treatment and precaution the medical staff shown towards Courtois. Under new Premier League regulations, all players must leave the pitch after suffering a head injury, and if a concussion is suspected, they must not return. Unsurprisingly, Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho has deflected personal criticism, suggesting his medical staff are responsible for Courtois' treatment. This man can never be wrong. FIFA have been sued by a group of the world's greatest female soccer players following their decision to stage the 2015 World Cup on turf. They claim the decision is gender discrimination since the Men's World Cup would never be played on a non-grass pitch. This technology was created to allow players an all-weather surface to compete on, which mimics the real thing. However, the group claims that the playing on artificial turf increases the risk of injury and changes how the ball moves on the pitch. This poses the question, is technology always beneficial to the sport? Our very own John Paul Villiers caught up with the facilities manager for the NYT Athletic Department, James Massari. Let's see what he had to say. Over to you, JP.
I'm here with James Massari, NYT Athletics. How is the difficulty to maintain the turf field over here at NYT?
My experiences with the turf have been positive. There's always going to be questions and concerns with turf. Is it the better option? Is it safe? Is it compliant? As far as there's something called GMAX testing with concussions that you have to stay in compliance with. I really find that the turf is much easier to maintain.
During the soccer season, men's and women's play games almost twice a week, and women's twice a week as well. How often do you have to maintain the field, and what does it take, and how many people does it take?
Once a month is a good rule of thumb as far as grooming it and making sure that the infill is distributed properly and that it doesn't get too hard. Because what we do with the attachment, we have a tine, it's like tines on the back of the attachment that we drag through, and that breaks up any compaction that you get from infill that gets too hard. And then the broom attachment just redistributes everything and makes it nice and even. It's softer to play on. So from a maintenance perspective, once a month is a good rule of thumb. Depending on usage, it could be as much as 2 times a month.
In terms of injury and how athletes often sometimes injure themselves on turf as opposed to grass, Do you think this is a positive issue, or do you think we should?
A lot has to go back to the maintenance. You know, if you're maintaining the field properly, a synthetic field, it should be safe. There should be no issues really. There's some guys.
All right, thanks, James.
No problem. I hope it was all right.
Yeah. Hey, I just spoke to James Masseri. He's the facilities manager here at NYT, and we discussed how the maintenance and the difference between having a turf field versus a natural grass field. And as an athlete here at NYT, I'm not going to be against turf because I think we have a very well-maintained turf field. And for soccer, it gives us a faster gameplay and does make the game complex at times, but it's always in our favor.
Thank you very much, JP. And now, let's recap the results from the weekend's Premier League fixtures. Manchester United 2, Everton 1, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Southampton 0, West Ham 2, QPR 0, Hull City 2, Crystal Palace 0, Leicester City 2, Burnley 2, Liverpool 2, West Brom 1, Sunderland 3, Stoke City 1, Swansea City 2, Newcastle United 2, Aston Villa 0, Manchester City 2. And finally, Jackson DeVille, the mascot for the Jacksonville Jaguars, has potentially thrown the towel in on his career. During the fourth quarter of the match against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he displayed a sign saying "Towels carry Ebola," a reference to the Steelers' iconic terrible towels carrying the deadly disease. Curtis Jorvac, an 18-season veteran in the catsuit, was responsible for the inappropriate improv gag on Sunday. The Jaguars released a statement saying that they weren't aware of the sign until after it was displayed and are now handling the matter internally. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for this week. I'm Liam Waddy. Thank you for watching Pangea Now Sports News. Back to you, Janine. Thank you.
Thanks, Liam. Thank God you're here to talk about sports because I know nothing about them.
Neither do I.
Someone's got to do it. But, Crystal, that was some great news reporting from the guys in the field and some pretty faces. They look kind of familiar.
Yeah.
But anyway, we thought we were talking about technology at a serious level. I mean, I know I try not to use my phone in class.
No.
And I don't bring a laptop really because it does ease you into searching the web.
It's distracting, yeah.
And we all see kids doing it, and everyone does it. It's human
I
nature.
get distracted.
Yeah.
If the person next to me is watching a video,
yeah.
Part of me is angry. I'm like, what are you doing? Be paying attention in class. And the other part of me is like, oh, that's kind of funny. Distracts me.
The nerd in you.
Yeah.
But anyway, we thought, since we're talking about such a dry topic, we'd get a little fun into it and, think about some old school versus new school technology. And it reminded me of a video I love called Teens React. It's a show, it's a web series that's on YouTube, and pretty much it's teens reacting to things, usually videos. This one is to an actual game console. So we're going to show you the video. You have to see it. It makes me feel old, I know, for that. So
I love it.
Let's watch this Teens React.
Love it.
So you actually are not reacting to a video.
Oh no! Don't do this.
Oh no! Instead, you are reacting to this.
Is that a POV? Is this a projector?
A video player?
Isn't this a Game Boy One thing?
A Game Boy. I mean, not a Game Boy. A video game contraption. This is a game console.
Nintendo Entertainment System. Oh, NES.
This is an NES, right?
Old school stuff right here. I'm pretty excited right now. I mean, I've played them a little bit.
The craziest thing about this, my brother bought this like yesterday.
I mean, I played with like a PlayStation 2, but that's as old as it gets for me. This is sad that like I know what this is, but I've never like seen one in real life.
So what do you think of it? It's old. My dad probably used to play it.
Looks like a brick.
From like 1920. Wow, this has come a long way.
It's like very bland coloring. We're gonna make like a system that's like gonna be all futuristic and stuff, but it's gonna be beige. So have you ever actually played a game on that thing?
I've never played a game on this before.
No.
I wasn't even born yet.
I've never even seen one before. This is so cool.
I played like 30 seconds of Mario. It's better than the new Marios for sure. I used to play Super Mario on this all the time. Well, I'm gonna list you some of the top selling games from the 1980s that played on this thing. Tell me if you've heard of them.
Alright.
Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Okay, we've heard of that one. Yeah. I played on the DS.
It's like the biggest game ever. The Legend of Zelda.
The Legend of who?
I've heard of it, never played it. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I heard of that game. That's like the blue guy? Blue hair. Sonic? Oh,
Metroid. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. It was on the DS too. I had it. No.
Metroid?
No.
No. No, what is that? I feel so bad.
Dragon Warrior 3. No.
No, never heard of that one.
Sounds dope though.
No. I don't LARP.
So do you want to play?
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, can I?
Hell yeah, let's go. Let's start this up.
Oh, we're playing on our old CRT TV too?
We're going old school with everything today, huh?
No way. What is this? Wait, that's the remote controller? I have an iPhone case like this.
You are going to be playing Super Mario Brothers.
Yes. It's like as big as my face.
Go ahead and put it in.
Don't judge me. Okay. Oh.
Did I do it?
Oh, did I do it?
Nope. You have one more step.
Oh, okay.
What do I do now? Power. Okay. Power. Let's go.
Oh.
Is it working now? No.
I did it. That was so. Wait. No, I didn't. No, yes. Did I do it wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh, reset. It's still blinking.
I think it's trying to give me a seizure.
Yay. No. Yeah, it's like flashing.
I made fun of my dad of like not knowing how to use stuff, and he's gonna be watching me now. How do you think you can try to get it to work if it's not working?
Turning it off and turning it back on again.
Reset? Next thing we would bang it, but I don't want to hit your equipment.
Did I have to blow in it?
You gotta blow on it. People tried lots of things to try to get the games to work. And the most popular of which was taking the game back out and then blowing on it and then putting it back in. Tap a little bit. Left tap.
Okay. Come on.
It's ticking on and off.
Still not working.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes! I got it!
People claim today that blowing into the game did nothing and it was all in your head. So it's just like a placebo effect.
That's probably true, but I mean, we all do it anyways.
I don't think it does anything, honestly.
I just kind of proved that wrong right there.
This isn't just luck. Like, it actually works to blow in the cartridge.
Could you ever imagine a console today being hugely successful like this was if it had that many problems?
No.
No. Nowadays, everyone's instant gratification.
It would get returned immediately. And then they go over to the other console. Like if Xbone wasn't working, switch over to PS4 immediately.
We're just spoiled these days. As soon as one person creates something that's like super efficient, people won't stand for anything less.
So go ahead, you can play the first level of Super Mario Brothers.
I gotta get into my groove here.
Oh, no, but I don't want to. I'm scared. Okay.
Oh, it's happening. Okay. I love this game. I feel like I'm in Wreck-It Ralph.
This controller sucks. It's the least comfortable controller ever. Oh!
Oh, damn it. Dude, I already died.
I literally died first time. That was so poor.
Oh, there it is. Shrooms.
Oh, wait, come back here. No, I can't go back in this game.
Okay.
No, you're not. Okay, you're dead.
Oh, I know my stuff.
I know all the secrets. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I'd spend all my time doing this on my little Game Boy thing.
I can't imagine how people would just be like sitting here all day and playing this.
Gotta get Flamin' Mario.
Ah, what does it do?
You're invincible.
Ah, die, bitch.
I feel too good at this game. I don't know why I just do. Oh no.
No. Oh, I missed it.
I'm so bald right now. Do you see this?
He's out of it.
1, 2, 3, go. That's a pro. Like, I am pro in this.
Like, we started off weak, then ended well. Team.
One life left. Okay, let's go. Let's beat it. Okay, so has anyone beat the level yet? Evan, this is a clutch moment. Forget the hops. I'm gonna go sprint. Usain Bolt. Oh no! Only first hit. So would you say this is better or worse than consoles of today?
Worse?
Worse?